Hello everybody, welcome back to another Santube video. In this video we are going to be talking about bed adhesion. This is a pretty cool product that I ran across, and before I go any further I want to give credit where it's due. The person who pointed me in this direction and actually recommended this to me was a gentleman by the name of Jason Cobb. He is a member on my online 3D forum. So thank you, Jason. This actually helped me out a lot, and hopefully this will help other people out as well. So basically, what we're going to be talking about today is something called plastic peel, most commonly known by the name of plastic dip. There's different varieties out there, different brands out there. I'm going to be going over two of them today. I'm going to go over how to apply them, what's the difference between them, and I'm going to show you some prints that I did with it, and go from there. Now most of you out there have been using tape, glue, hairspray, salt water, other things, other methods, and you still tend to have some problems. Now I'm not saying this is perfect, but from the experience I've had, I think this is going to be a great option for people to go with. So based on that, let's go and get started and go over what the two different types that we're going to be going over today. Alright, so the first one we're going to go over is the Rust-oleum Peel Coat, the Custom Shop Edition. I went with the gloss black on this one because unfortunately that's all they had at Walmart when I went there. It was either this one or some kind of tungsten, which was like some crazy texture which I didn't want. Basically what this is again is you're just gonna, it's plastic in a can. If you know how to use spray paint, you will know how to use this. The second thing, same thing, we have plastic dip here, and I've worked with this before, so that's why I picked up this one just to do a comparison on it. Again, they're both peelable, they're both very flexible, but plastic dip actually has a label on the front that says it's insulated against heat and vibration, which I thought was kind of cool, but I'm assuming both have the same feature. So we're gonna go over both of them today, and basically how they work, guys, is you got to make sure you spray an even thin layer over and over and over, and in between you need to give yourself a little bit of break. Now I notice plastic dip tends to dry a lot faster, where the Rust-oleum takes a little bit longer to dry. I don't know if it's just because I got the gloss black finish, because the gloss black has a special extra chemical in there which gives it a clear coat. So I'm thinking that might have been it. So these are the two we're going to go over today. First one we're going to start with is probably going to be the Rust-oleum. Now before you get started, just make sure, like always, get your glass nice and clean, wash it down. I just take it inside, wash it with some sponge and soap, and dry it out, leave it in the heat. And before you get started on trying to spray this, make sure you give it a really good shake. Just thrash the shit out of it and just make sure all the chemicals inside mix before you get it out. And just like spray paint, what you want to do once you shake it is you want to squirt a couple of squirts out, or spray a few times to the side like this, just to make sure that your nozzle, or not nozzle, but your paint is coming out evenly, just like, you know, 3D printing. You got your nozzle. We do brims and skirts because we want to make sure the nozzle has a good flow to it. So you'll notice here I do a few coats. You can't tell because I fast forwarded this for you guys, but I do take about, with this one I take about a minute break in each one, then I come back and then I spray it again, and then I just do layer by layer. I go top to bottom, then left to right, then I just do top to bottom, left to right. That's just something I do, um, but it worked out pretty well, and it just was a little time consuming with this one, but this is the end product right here. Unfortunately, my neighbor was cutting some grass while I let it dry outside, so you'll see little specks on there, which actually came off once the product dried. I just brushed it off with my hand and it was pretty good. So the next one we're gonna do is work with plastic dip. Again, this is a different glass. I have cleaned it already. Just a side note, one thing I did notice, the plastic dip did have a little bit more of a texture to it, which means like a rougher surface, but not a lot. But I think it's because I went with the gloss black on the other one. That's why it gave me a smoother finish on that one. But basically, again, you want to keep it about 8 to 10 inches away from the glass itself as you're spraying it, and give it an even coat, left to right, right to left. And you notice that I did put the can down, took a break, and I came back and did it again. And just going back and forth until you get the right layer or the right end product that you want. If you notice, when I pick it up, you can still see the shadow of my fingers in the back. I went a little bit lighter on it because it was my first time spraying it onto glass, which I should have went a little bit thicker, because this will eventually give me problems down the line, meaning I won't be able to print as many prints on here as I wanted. So I'll talk about that later down the line in the video. But all in all, it came out pretty good. I can't complain. So this is the black one again. Like I said, smoother surface. It did come out pretty good. I did go a little bit thicker on this one. Unfortunately, I'll mention down the line as well, I ended up breaking this glass, so I had to redo a small portion on the gray one. Now in this part, you're going to see that I'm working with the plastic dip first. So basically this is the gray one, which is the plastic dip. Now if you notice the plate itself, I have done a previous couple of prints on it, but this one I actually recorded to show you guys. Ignore the deformed print. I was having some issues basically with my slicing software, believe it or not, and it came out like that. But that's not the point of this video anyway, so I still used it because we're going to be talking about how well it stuck to the bed plate itself. So if you notice here, like I said, I'm going to try to use my hands to go ahead and peel that off. And what's actually going to end up happening is I'm going to split it in half, and it's going to break off because the layer shifted, or I believe it was just a bad slicing issue that I had. So you notice that one just snaps right off. And so I'm going to put that aside and continue to peel it off with my hands just to show you. Now keep in mind, when you peel this off, you want to make sure that your bed is completely cold. Otherwise, if you peel it off, it is going to peel off some of the plastic that you have laid down. So I'm going to give it one more try with this and see what happens. And apparently it stuck so well I was having a little bit of trouble. So I go ahead and pulled out my spatula, and I believe I started prying at it, and it came off pretty easy. It wasn't that hard. So if you notice, I just had to get in there, and there it is. Once you get that slot, just pop it off, go around, be really careful because it is plastic and you don't want to put dents and stuff in it. So but there it is. It was that easy to take off, and you can see how well it stuck. It was all taken off in one shot, and because it is plastic, the back part, guys, actually comes out pretty damn smooth, I gotta admit. And I really was impressed with the results. As you can see, like I said, I have done many prints on this one already, because like I said earlier, I did a kind of a thin layer on it. It started peeling some of the plastic off, and also I realized that I have to let it cool down before I can actually do that. So this was the first print that I actually recorded to show you guys, and this is what I'm talking about right here. Because I had a thin layer on there, the plastic was actually bubbling up because I had pulled it off earlier in the same section with the bed being warm, not completely cold. So right here you'll notice on the other side where I had done a print earlier, I can literally just pull the plastic off once I get like a good grip on it, or make a slot to where I can grab it. And you can see right here, it just peels right off, doesn't leave any residue or nothing on your glass. It's pretty cool. I really like this product. Now this was a plastic dip, like I said. This one's a little bit more rougher. surface than the other one, but I think it's because I went with the gloss instead of just the matte. I believe if you go with just the matte black, it'll give you the same texture, but it works out really well. The only thing you need to watch out for is make sure you level your bed. Okay, but there it is right there. You can see my finger through that first layer. It's that easy to take off. Now if it's a thicker coat, it's a lot easier, but because this was a really thin layer on my part, first time experiencing this on 3D printing, I tended to go a little lighter, and that was actually a mistake. But it's that easy to just peel off again. You just grab and pull, and that's about it. So what I did now is I wasn't really too happy with the way the print came out, so I decided to go a different route and reprint it. So the biggest problem I had, why my print came out this way, I figured out. I was using Cura 2.5, and that's has been giving me a lot of issues, as you guys know. But the next print that I do, I actually did it in Cura 2.4, and that came out pretty well. So and it's actually the same model, same STL from from the same website, same user. Now this one, what I did is I actually had to respray because the other glass that had the whole glass sprayed in the Rust-oleum actually broke, unfortunately. And I did do a few prints on it, but I wasn't able to record it. So this is all I had left, so I taped it up and just did a little middle section of it. And this is the exact same print, like I said, from the other print we saw earlier. Alright, so here is the other print for the second time. And this one, if you notice, guys, came out pretty damn clean. Um, the brim around it, it's stuck to the surface. You got the top part, which is perfect, and once I peel it off, you'll notice that the bottom is also great. Now what I'm gonna do here is give you kind of like a side view. If you notice, everything is stuck to the bed. There's no warping whatsoever on this. And then once you take a look at it very closely, and as I go around, you'll see the side was okay, the front was great, and then as I give you the side view of the other side, it's just amazing. It just stuck right off the bat, first try, no issues whatsoever. So let's go ahead and try to get this peeled off, and I will show you how easy it is. You don't even need any kind of tools, to be honest. If you level your bed right, get the right temperature on it, which should be somewhere about 50 to 60 for PLA. So this is the actual print right here. I'm going to try to use my finger first and see what happens, see if I can get it off. I tried to pull a little bit, and it was sticking pretty well, as you can see. So what I decided to do is pull the brim out first, and hopefully that would have peeled up the print itself. But I was having a little bit of issue because it stuck so well, so I had to use both hands on that one. So I got the brim off by 80%, and sure enough, the print just snapped right off. Look at that. And again, the back on it came out smooth. The top part was smooth. Everything stuck. And if you notice on this one, because I went with a heavier coat, nothing peeled off on the plastic part itself. But there's the print right there. It's just that easy. There's no white residue on the back from the glue or hairspray that you would get with your other prints. It is just the filament itself. Basically, from my understanding, how it works is when you spray it on, is basically plastic, but when you heat plastic, it tends to become a little sticky. And because of that, your prints stick very well to it. When it dries up, it hardens up, and then you can just snap it right off. So that's how this product works, and it's great for that. But if you notice right there, there's really just a few little scuff marks, but that's just from me pulling the print off. There's no peeling, no bubbles, no little dots or anything like that. Everything just it's amazing, and cleanup is so easy on this because I have so much tape laying around my house, as you can see right there. All I do is I just rip a little piece off and put it on, push it down, peel it off, just like that. So if you pay attention to the end as I'm going, you'll notice that I'm picking up everything there is. Besides the scuff marks, really not doing anything on that. But it's that easy right there. My whole bed is clean. I'm ready for the next print. All I gotta do is heat it back up. Besides those little scuff marks, there's really nothing wrong with it. And I think some of them were made because I was trying to test if the product was ready to be used or was still wet. But as you can see right there, guys, this is amazing. I mean, you're ready to go. There's no cleaning, no nothing to it. And now most of you are probably thinking, well, you printed really tiny small things. How the hell am I supposed to know if this thing really works? Well, for all you non-believers out there, on that same bed, after I printed the Destiny logo, I printed a hunter's knife. Um, as you can see, I went really high with this one. I believe it was roughly ended up being about 10, 11 inches high. The base itself was maybe 2 inches by 1 inch. So for it to stick like that, and notice it's not moving at all. As it's going up, it's not moving at all. Now, unfortunately, I had a power flicker in my neighborhood, so the print stopped right there. But there it is. So there's a print right there finished, as you can tell. It's printed again, like I said, on the same surface, pretty high. Um, it's very easy to pull the supports off on this one. Now once I get this all peeled off, you notice I just grab it, twist, and pull, and that's it. If you look at the brim itself, guys, it's not that big. Like I said, 2 inches by 1, maybe, if that. And it's the size of the nozzle as far as how thin it is, as I just showed you right now, and that's how wide it was. So it's a very thin model, but I did a vertical print just to show you guys how sturdy this material is. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take most of the supports off and give you a better view on this. But as you can see right there, it's good to go. I mean, the surface is still good. I just used some tape to clean it off. Now I did wait until the bed cooled down. Okay, if you don't wait, you're gonna end up peeling, and you're gonna have to do that area again. You're gonna have to recoat it. So from my experience, out of the two, the plastic dip was a little bit rougher. Worked the same. The Rust-oleum was a little bit smoother, but I believe it's because it was the gloss black. I've showed you two prints on it. Two of them were the same, and the other three that I did on it, unfortunately I did not record, so I couldn't get you a view on that. My opinion, this thing works amazing. Please try it out. It's only $5, and you can probably use one good coat, I'm assuming roughly about 10 to 15 times if you're just really careful. Heat it up, wait for it to cool down before you pull the model off. Go ahead and try it out. Walmart has them. They're only 5 something. And let me know what you think. So there you have it, guys. Two different brands, same product. I don't really think it matters which one you go with. Rust-oleum works pretty good. I actually prefer the gloss black, just for the fact that it is a little bit smoother. But I've had plastic dip in my arsenal for a while, so I did like that for the little bit of texture that it did give. Just remember, again, heat it up to the right temperature. Also, make sure you pull your prints off after it's cooled down. I think this will save you guys a lot of time just prepping your bed. As far as if you use tape or glue or hairspray, you're not going to have to buy any of that stuff anymore. I believe it's a great product, and again, Jason Cobb, thank you so much for recommending this to me, and hopefully this helps you guys out. And that's the end of this video, guys. If you have any concerns, comments, or questions, please leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video, go ahead and throw a like if you want. If you don't, you don't have to. subscribe if you want to see more videos that I'm going to be bringing out later on. And on a side note, I did my first live stream today, guys, and I got a lot of good feedback from you guys, so thank you all for your support. I do appreciate that. And with that said, like always, guys, good luck and happy printing. Enjoy.